Okay, I think we're about ready to start. So let's cut the music and let's get ourselves on screen proper. All right. Oh wait, I forgot to put my filter on. Let's be right back. Testing, testing. All right, I'm going to assume that it is working proper. Let's actually might hear a bit of echo, but I need to hear if the stream hears me coming in through. So bear with me. Here if the stream hears me coming in through. So bear with me. All right, so it looks like my voice is coming through the stream on my streaming side. So let's go ahead and get started. So, hello, welcome to another stream from Keobastein. Sudden stream. I don't know if I can really call it sudden, considering I don't really go by any schedule. But I do feel a little more inclined to stream. For starters, my last stream, which was on me doing the Phantom Breaker tier list, let's just say I am no longer confident in sharing my opinions on character strength and Phantom Breaker Omnia, since I had a discussion with one of the stronger American players who plays Yuzuka, and after a few discussions and reviewing my even Wikipedia, I'm like, you know what? Not my Wikipedia, but the Mizumi Wikipedia. I'm like, you know what? There's a little too much me saying something and not actual hard evidence backing it up. So I decided to back up from that tier list. But why do we see a tier list right now with King of Fighters? Well, this isn't a quote unquote weird tier list. This is more or less a list of me talking about which characters. Well, how about this? Let me get back on track here. I apologize. So, what do I have on screen? I have King of Fighters 15 currently going on. So right now, King of Fighters 15 has been out in the wild for, let's say, at least 3 months now. I think we could say about at least 3 months. Let's see, February, January. No, sorry. February, March, April, May. So essentially going on to about 4 months now that King of Fighters 15 has been out. I've had my opportunity to play the game for a bit on my Steam. I guess I can bring it up real quick. Shouldn't be any problem with me doing that, correct? So it says I currently at least have about 60 hours on this game. So I got some experience. A good portion of it is definitely training. The other portion is trying to get matches online and whatnot. And right now, currently, I feel I can say now, okay, I got an idea how the characters work. I have an idea how the games is being played at a competitive level. I'm not going to say I'm high level, but at least at a somewhat competitive level. Like, I'm at least playing to try to win, not playing just to goof around, if you will. Maybe that was a bit of oxymoron, or... Irregardless, I at least now have experience under my belt on King of Fighters 15, and I could definitely say there have been maybe some things have shifted and changed around based off my who am I going to main and who I'm not interested in maining and whatnot. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I will try to do more in-depth list, but considering what I did with Phantom Breaker Omnia tier list, and that took quite a while just to even finish off that tier list. I didn't even finish it. I did like half of it. In like 2 hours, I only did like half the characters, and this has way many characters, so I don't want to try to do anything more in depth. We're just going to who are the characters I want to play, who are the characters I'm kind of not sure I want to play, and then characters who I'm just not going to bother with. And I guess with that, maybe I need to go ahead and segue to the current rankings. So the top rank is main for life. I mean, as the name says, I'm pretty much going to main the characters for life. I am very more or less, I think these characters are the best fit for me, if anything. Then the next section, this is still confident. In other words, I am not at the state where I want to say I'm dedicated to them, but I think there is potential for me to use them in a sense. So let's say this is potential. The still confident, that's the potential. Maybe for function sakes. Basically, these are characters who are, I don't really quite know their potential, but I have an interest either based off. Yeah, I have an interest in them based off certain tools I see they have and I may like, but I may not understand the full scope of what they can do and whatnot. So they're like, I'm willing to like try these characters out. That's at least what I can say when it comes to maybe for function sake. I'm willing to try them out and even go into the wild with them, play online with them, get some matches with them. I'm willing to do that for characters in the maybe for function sakes. This next category is who are you? Basically, these are I don't know what you're about. I don't know if I can like you or if I'm going to hate you. Because either I have not played with them or I still don't even understand them to this day, even with a little bit of experience. Overall, that's what I say again. Who are you? Like, what do you do? Like, essentially, yeah, like, what do you do? I don't know what you do. I either have little to get no experience with them. So, basically, these are the characters who could potentially rise up to maybe function states or confident and main for life. Like, I could probably find a hidden character I love in here. Not really sure in that regard. And the last session is the no thank you. And I see somebody's joined. Thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, this last session is called no thank you. Pretty much I very confident I'm not interested in the character. Maybe based off either just how they look, their characteristics, or even how they function and whatnot. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and try to tackle this character crisis I have. So we got the character Shunei. He's basically in the who are you? Even though I have little experience with him in King of Fighters 14, and he basically was kind of a brain dead pressure like character, and I kind of really thought, yeah, he's not for me. But one thing I can tell right now, characters going from King of Fighters 14 to King of Fighters 15, there is a lot of changes, not really just based on how the character plays, but also how the system plays. Like, one thing that is throwing me off about King of Fighters 15 is now, basically, meter management is very important in King of Fighters 15, and you need to be very aggressive to build meter in King of Fighters 15. In King of Fighters 14, you were able to build meter from just taking damage and blocking well, good enough, and whiffing commands and whatnot. In King of Fighters 15, that's really no longer the case. If you want to get an edge in meter build, because now there's half a bar options, which becomes very vital for certain characters. Now I have to lean on, okay, I do need some aggressive gameplay characters and whatnot. And now that Shunei has a bit of aggressive gameplay, but not really fully. Like, I don't know if he's a round character, if he's a pressure character, if he's a poke character. I at least know he is an aggro character, and I am in the market for an aggressive character. That much I can say. Terry Burgard, no thank you. He is the epitome of rushdown driven, and I know I have no interest in that person, for me personally. So yeah, that's a quick and done. Yashiro, he's also in the who are you, because when I go on the Dream Council Wikipedia, like, I'm thinking he's a rushdown character because I see he does big damage combos and confirms and whatnot. He has some Mitsuku. He has a he has a command overhead. He also has a command normal overhead, and he also has a command overhead. It looks like he's all about being in on the opponent. So I thought he is a rushdown character, but on the Wikipedia and what Wikipedia they're saying he's kind of, while he's a brawler, he's not really I guess he's not a rushdown character. He's kind of pressure, but not rushdown. And I had a hard time learning the difference between a pressure character and a rushdown character. Like, I want to think what's a good example of this. All right, how about this? In Phantom Breaker Omnia, the game I play, Itsuki, she's a pressure character, or even Ren. These are pressure characters. These are characters who's good at, if anything, keep you in block stun. Maybe not even good. Rather, they have good ways of keeping person in a block store. While Rushdown, they're kind of about trying to open you up in some shape or form. Like they will do mix-ups. They will either try to guard crush you. So pressure and rushdown is not exactly the same from what I'm guessing. So because they don't say Yashua is a straight rushdown character, I'm like, okay, well he does have good confirms. In fact, that's the reason I'm looking. He does have good confirms. Um, they say he doesn't really have good meter traversal, so that kind of keeps me, do I want to play with him? Not really sure. Kind of keeps me. So there's that. So yeah, I'm gonna leave Joshua in the "Who are you?" because I don't understand him, and I think a lot of people are not necessarily a lot, but rather some people are placing on one thing or another. King, she is a zoner, so she is a zoner. I used to like her character, but you know, actually, here's the thing. I'm actually going to put no thank you. Even though King is a zoner, she's very much a very active zoner who tries to. She's a very active zoner. All right, I mean, like there are other zoners who even play some of the King, but I don't really think King is my type of character. Even though she has good confirms, but she really is like she wants you to block, and then she tries to run something on you. She's not like my character Athena zoner in my last season. Like Athena zone, but she also wants to run away. Athena's a character whether you're locked on your hit. She just wants to keep you away from her. King, not so much. I think she once she gets to the point of blocking, then King is more willing to go in my opinion. Or you know, at the end of the day, I just don't care for King anymore. Mai is kind of a footsie character. I like how she's an aerial character, and I kind of sort of like that. But I also don't really care for the character myself personally and whatnot. So yeah, she's definitely don't think it. I just not really in love with her, or rather, there are other characters I could play who I feel plays an aerial game that I want to play, like sorry, Athena. Athena does that. Maybe I could have Athena and Maya in there so I could have multiple aerial characters. But it looks like King of Fighters, you really want to have a balanced team. So, yeah. I don't think, since I'm already going to have Athena up here in the list, I don't need Mai as well, I think. Shermie? I'm going to say for function's sake, she's a very strong grappler. She does actually have some pretty good defensive moves and whatnot. Good button, really good button. So I really should probably be playing her. But I also admit that I am not also in love with the character and whatnot. And she's definitely still on the aggro kind of grappler. But because I am learning that I do need some type of command grab because I'm not good at doing good miss. I'm not good at conditioning for mix up. I pretty much do mostly strike or throw type of thing, and it's very difficult to try to condition people to just do. If anything, what's what I want to use? Forgive me. It's hard for me to condition people to want to stand still, so then I could go for a regular throw and whatnot. So I kind of think I do need a command grab character, and if there is a character that I want to use command grab with, I guess it'll be Shermie. The characters who I would really like to have would either be Xanadu or Chang, but I don't got them here, so Shermie might be the next character to kind of do that. There's another character who might be in this list, but because he's going to be above maybe for function's sakes, I don't know if I want to put him there or not. Chris, I don't know what Chris does. I thought Chris was a wrestling character. Some people say he's a really speedy character that can play the neutral rail of getting in and out. But I am under the impression that he really is still a pressure character at the end of the day. And I don't think that's going to be for me. But once again, I can't say that I'm going to completely write off Chris because I never played with Chris that extensively. Only just what I've seen of him. And I'm pretty confident he is more or less more of a pressure character who can at least zip in, zip out, but he uses his speed to get in and not stay away. Hello, Spenjitsu. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, Rio. I'm sort of confident in Rio. I kind of want to put him for fushing sakes, And the reason why I want to put him for function's sakes, or no, he is going to go for function's sakes. Now, one thing I read, people say he is a rushdown character, which I didn't think that was the case. I thought he was kind of a footsie-like character, but people are saying he's really rushdown, and he might be the closest to a rushdown character I'd be willing to play. Reasoning for King, um, basically, King zoning is not my type of zoning, I will say. She's not my type of zoning. I also think King wants to play very aggressive with her zoning. Like, I think she wants to get an opponent block stun. Now that she got an opponent block stun, now she's going to actually kind of go in and pressure people. I do think King kind of like does that a lot. Or you know what, better yet, how about this? I don't like King's defensive options, pretty much in the end. I don't really like her defensive options. Outside of her, that one DP where she does backwards, I don't really like her defensive options. I don't really care for her tornado kick. She has good, at best I can say what I like is I do like her unique normals, but then at the end of the day, I am not a fan of her buttons. I'm not just a fan of her kit in its entirety. If anything, I just had a fondness for King because she's one of the first characters I played in Keobastein K. Like doing combos with King is fun. That much I can say. Her combos are fun. That much I can admit. Playing her and competing with her, not fun for me personally. Back to Rio. Like they say Rio is a rushdown character. I'm kind of surprised that she's not really good at, like, he don't really have that much plus moves, as far as I understand. He has one overhead that's only worse if it's a single overhead. But they say he's a rushdown. But probably the main reason I want to play with Rio is he got those he has those parry, the forward kick and the down towards kick. But apparently you do use those more for keeping his pressure safe or keeping him plus on pressure. So maybe that's what they mean by Rio being a rushdown character. But if he is a rushdown character, he's probably the closest to a rushdown character I might be willing to play. Robert Garcia, we could definitely say he's a rushdown character. That's it. I got Yuri. How did that happen? Robert, he's definitely a rushdown. Not my type of. Well, sorry. How about this? He's a Shoto that leans on playing aggro aggressively. Like, you can even say that both by Rio and Robert. Robert and Rio, they're both aggressive character. Well, not that aggressive. They're both of the Shoto character, while Robert leans on aggressive with long combos. Rio leans slightly on defensive. But again, they say he's rushdown on the Wikipedia. Like, let's go ahead and bring the Wikipedia. They say Rio is a rushdown character. Ryo Sasaki is a rushdown character with a Shoto flair. While he has the hard mark tools of a Shoto tool, his fireball does not travel full screen. Instead, he boasts a strong set of tools to enable an aggressive style of play. So, yeah. They say he has great pressure, he has great offense. This is the thing that made me want to play him. Parries. I like his parries. But I don't know if they really consider that a defining point. In fact, I've come across many Rio players who don't really use the parry, but they use everything else. So, there's that. And then, I guess here's another thing that's also making me don't want to play Rio. He's reliant on meter, and the problem is I already have so many characters who are already meter reliant. Whip, I need to have meter for her, and Ash, I also need to have meter for him. Last thing I need is to have multiple characters who are hungry for meters to have a healthy team, in my opinion. So yeah, just because of parries, I might mess with Rio, but not really sure. Yuri, I know Yuri's straight up mix-up, so not me. Mitsuku. Alright. I first had Mitsuku main for life, but then when I started playing with Mitsuku and realized, oh wow, you really gotta play more aggressive in this game, and I was struggling with that, I kicked Mitsuku off my team and probably put him in the still confident, but not as confident. But now that I realize, holy shit, I do not playing fast. I do not like playing aggro. Is there a character for me I could play who is not about running in, or rather, yeah, he's not about running in. Mitsuku is that character. One part because he's charged, but also because he's supposed to be slow. Like, I'm really want to play with Mitsuku now because he is slow. I don't have to feel bad playing slow with Mitsuku because that's what he does. That's what he does. He also has easy confirm. He has an overhead that I can use. So, and the new balance patch where they now make his unique normal work from a back standpoint. Now I can charge and do his combos more easier and whatnot. Another thing that I had issues, I was playing Mitsuku as a point character. People are saying Mitsuku can play point. I think there may be matchups Mitsuku can play point, but he really needs meter. I mean, in fact, let's check this out real quick, because I really think Mitsuku is a mid to anchor character. I feel he can't get anything started unless he has meter. Meter, in my personal opinion. But let's check that out real quick. Where is Mitsuku? Where is Mitsuku? There we go. So, Mitsuku is a defensive charge character who demands respect thanks to his high level of space control. Yeah, I do like space control, high damage with meter utility. Like I said, again, high damage with meter utility. So, even though his game plan can sort of be established without meter, here's the problem. I'm not good at playing aggressive. So, and what someone told me, if you're gonna play, defensive and run away, just make sure that when you do hit, you make the hit count, as in you do some explosive damage. Mitsuku can't do that without meter. Like, he just can't really do that without meter. Or bears, like they say again, meterless combo. His meterless combo is without meter. Mitsuku combos are mediocre at best. They deal low damage and have poor corner carry. So the fact that Mitsuku needs to have meter, and I was playing him points, I felt, oh, maybe this character isn't for me. But I had some matches with Sal's Laos, and I tried Mitsuku as an anchor, and I had way better success than I did with actually even my Elizabeth anchor. Like, now, I'm about to just take off Elizabeth as my anchor character, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And hello to who joined the chat. I hope you're doing well. Beat him Earl, definitely don't. Not my playstyle. Very in your sorry, he's a very, I actually want to say a Vortex kind of character because of how his command grab and how his links leads into good knockdown. I think he's definitely a Vortex character and definitely not my cup of tea. He's just that. Same thing with Yuri. Very Vortex. He's a Shoto that's kind of more Vortex or a set play. Maybe I should say set play. There you go, set play. I'll take that right. He's a very, both of these characters are set play. One is stronger set play. He is a Shoto with set play. Not my cup of tea. Joe Higashi, I don't know what he does. I rarely ever play with Joe Higashi. I always thought him to be an aggressive character. Probably still is, but for the most part, I really don't know him. I fought against Joes. I fought some that are really aggressive. I fought some that really tried to zone me out. The ones who tried to zone me out usually lost to me because my characters were better at shutting down zoning, such as Mitsuku, Athena, and Elizabeth, and Whip. So they had to run in. So the ones who were rushing me down, they were good Joes. But I heard some people say Joe can really zone very well. So I don't know. I didn't know who this guy is. And that's actually going to be the same thing for Kyo Kusanagi. Because I'm getting misperception that Kyo Kusanagi is a restaurant character. Some say he's a footsie character. I think he's more of a footsie character. But, yeah, he's more of a footsie character. I do think he's a footsie character in this version. He has some decent options. I have tried him in the field. But, you know what? Yeah, I'll put him. I messed with him for a bit. If I ever had to play with a secret treasure character, it would definitely be Kyo. However, his combo does scare me off with his combo execution, and he is aggro. I do think you have to play with Kyo aggro. He has defensive options that I like, but he also needs to play more aggro. And if I need to play more aggro, I trust Kyo's aggro gameplay more than I trust Ryo's aggro, since Kyo has multiple mix-ups to... He has multiple mix-ups, and all that he has a command grab. There you go. Yeah, he does have a command grab. This is the only character I like that does have a command grab. You know, it's a meter command grab still. Shizuru, don't really know her so well. She does seem like she's kind of a set play. I got a knockdown. Okay, handle my my clone mix-up and whatnot. She seems like she's a meter-hungry character, and I'm just not down with that. I like her buttons, and that's about where it kind of stops. I like her buttons. The clone things are kind of interesting, but since I am not trying to put so much difficulty characters in my team, I don't want to bother with her. Yeah, I need to put her to the no thank you. Andy Bogard, I kind of want to try him just because he has a good fireball game and DP game, like another Shoto character. As you can see, I do kind of like Shoto like characters. I do like he has some projectile invulnerable move, and he does seem like he is a frame trap driven character where I'm okay with just frame trapping and chipping you out. However, I also got characters who already kind of serve that function that I'm not sure I really want him in my team because of that. But if I ever need to like change somebody else out, then Andy Bogart could kind of get in there. Leona, I'm gonna put Who Are You? I was very confident that she was always set play type of character who mix ups, but I'm hearing conflicted things saying that how she's kind of no, she is a set play. What am I talking? One, she's a set play character. Most of the time she's set play. She wants to get a hard knockdown. That's why the new blade move she has gives her an easier hard knockdown. So she is definitely very much the mix up oriented character who plays very aggro. I feel most of the time. I feel she only plays defensive when she has a life lead and she has meter. Otherwise, she needs to be aggro with her, and I know that's not me. Same thing with Ralph. Clark is kind of. Yeah, same thing with Clark. Fuck it. I'm going to say that. Same thing with Clark. Clark may be a grappler, but he's definitely a grappler who's in there and missing you up. And that's the same thing with Blue Mary, so we can keep that simple. Luong, I'm putting her into Who Are You? I know she's good at mid-range poking. That's what they say. She's good about mid-range poking. But her actual mix-up to open people up is a lot more layer. And that definitely scares me off. I'm not sure I'm personally about that life. So yeah, so basically, since I don't really understand her because I only played her so in 14, and all I did was confirm. Did the thing hit? So I did my confirm hit. Do I have meter? Cool. Spin the meter. I don't have a meter. Okay, well then just hit them and go back to neutral and try to dominate neutral, which that is something I can do. But I also feel I have characters who already fit that role. That just having another one there doesn't really help me in that regards. But so I want to say no thank you, but I'm not going to say no thank you because no thank you means I have no attention whatsoever to play with those characters. And I can say I at least have some attentionality to try Luong again, even for casual things. Vanessa, not so much. Ramon, I'm in a weird place with Ramon. I was. Alright, you know what? This is where we could put the confident. I can't say I've dropped Ramon, but Ramon. For starters, I do want to command grab. The reason why I want Ramon, one besides the fact that he does have command grabs and he does have pretty good mix-ups. Probably one of the reasons I like Ramon's, I feel he's very good at meter build, and then he can play runaway. He can either be a runaway fiend or he could be a mix-up heavy character with resets. I don't lean on the resets that much, but to play with Ramon, I might be willing to learn his resets just because I do like his toolkit. I like Ramon's toolkit. I like that he has feint, so I don't need to commit to my pressure. Like I could do 2 attacks and then I can feint cancel, just see what happens. Like even if it's on hit, I still plus to run offense again. And if I'm negative, then I can feint cancel just to keep myself from being heavily punished. So I like that. He has one very good hit confirms in my opinion. Well, I didn't say very good hit confirm. He has some good brain dead pressure options, and I kind of like that. He has command grabs, which I do like as well. He does have good projectile invulnerable moves with his Tiger Low. I like Tiger Low a lot, that moveset. So yeah, still confident that he could probably work. Even right now, he's probably considered the worst character, which I could probably agree. King and Dinosaur is maybe for function's sake. He's another command grab character. I heard he's... Yeah, I put him in the Who Are You? Take that back. I was under the impression that King and Dinosaur is another Vortex character of the grappler variety. I mean, technically, all grapplers are the Vortex. But I figured King Dinosaur was definitely on the more slower Vortex with higher rewards, as opposed to, say, like Shermie, who's not as high reward, but she's also more consistent. You know, I take that back. I don't know King Dinosaur well enough to say, hey, is he a grappler that's for me or a grappler that's not for me? Like, I can't say I've never played grapplers because I played Nuko, and I played Nuko from Blade Strangers, and I don't have the authority to say it, but I'm under the impression that Nuko, did I say Nuko? Holy shit. Emiko. I'm sorry, Emiko. I played Emiko in Blade Stranger, and I feel she's definitely a grappler of the read variety. Slow, reads out her opponent. Doesn't try to mess them up and get them scared. She's like, okay, I think you're going to do this option, and if I read this option well, I get a high reward and whatnot. Like, how about this? Let's look at Zangief or Armika. Zangief is more of my type of grappler because he makes the hard reads and gets reward for that. While Armika, she's a character who basically pressures you into grapple. I'm gonna say pressure. Dear Lord, I'm saying pressure. Darn. All right. Let's just say a very active grappler. I feel Shermie is a very active grappler who's trying to do many things to layer her mix-ups, while King and Dinosaur is a more passive grappler who tries to make more educated reads and make more educated reads and whatnot. Like, King and Dinosaur is definitely not always going for a command grab after he lands something. He's trying to make an educated guess. While Shermie, she's like, oh, are you standing still? I take that back. I don't understand King Dinosaur enough, but I feel he might be for me just at a theory, but I'm going to just keep him still. Who are you? Because I not touched him whatsoever. Athena, main for life. Easy. She's one of the most defensive character in King of Fighters. Also, the main reason why I can guarantee that Athena will be in every King of Fighters game. That's like, she's always been in a King of Fighters game, and she's mostly stayed the same. And she's keep away. She's like the most active I'm willing to play, which is active run away, which is actually another reason why I'm willing to play Ramon. Like, Ramon, he does play very active, but he's also good at actively just running away as well. Like, he definitely wants to, on his offense, he wants to mix up and reset, but otherwise, he is actively kind of sort of running away for a good bit. And that's what I'm willing to do with that. Antonov, like his buttons, but he's not for me. I could just say that. I actually like his character, but I don't really feel excited to play with Antonov. You know, I'll put Who Are You? I won't say that I never will play Antonov, but he's definitely not for me. And let's see if my stream is working properly. Antonov, but he's definitely not for me. Alright, the stream still seems good, I'm guessing. So let's continue forward. Ash Chrism. Ash has went from, I want to try him because of function, to, well, I'm not confident with Ash because I've yet barely played him. However, everything from read, because I want to play a slower game, Ash fits that to a T, essentially. Or rather, at least, how about this? His Oki is brain dead. Oh, did I get a knockdown? Cool. Let me throw a fireball on top of you. Now you have to respect that fireball. Or if I want to play a defensive play, such as a reversal, there you go. A lot of times, certain characters' reversal has to be... Or how about this? Let me take it back. Outside of hitting opponent and, doing his touch of death combo, Ash does play a neutral game where he mostly is reacting to what his opponent does. And I like that. That, we can say that is the same case for Mitsuku, Athena, and Ash. Other characters, not so much, because they do have a gameplay where they actively sort of kind of want to do something. Technically, that's the case for Athena, but she's run away. Ramon, he does actively want to do something, but he's also good at retreating if things get bad for him, and that's why I still want to mess with Ramon. Shermie doesn't really retreat. She doesn't really want to retreat. Ryo, he has a safeguard in his parries, but he's also, I want to be in my opponent's face and do something. Same thing with Kyo Kusanagi, and Andy to some extent. Yeah, like, Andy does play somewhat of a slow game, but that's one problem. Because of it, alright, how about this? What Andy does, Mitsuku does, but better, I feel. As far as in the slower pace. I guess I didn't say that. Mitsuku doesn't have good meterless damage, but his zone is still better than Andy. Andy has better meterless damage because Andy can do pretty good combos from his confirms, but his neutral only becomes very good when he has meter, I feel. So they're like the embers. And I probably prefer Mitsuku because Mitsuku doesn't have trouble. Well, no, I take it back. Mitsuku does have trouble building meter. Like, how about this? Andy, I'll probably want to have Andy point, while I want to have Mitsuku anchor. Like, if that ever happens where I have both of them on the team, Andy would be point, hands down. Mitsuku would be the anchor, hands down, and whatnot. But alright, that's enough of that. Kukri, I don't know what you really do, but it looks like he's really an aggro character. I think they nerfed some of his aggro gameplay by making some of his moves not give him that much advantage. No, he is missing. What am I doing? He's a very missing. He got, once he gets that knockdown, he really wants to use his sand thing, and he wants to layer that miss up quite well. And I'm not there for that. It's not for me personally. Or I don't get excited to play that type of gameplay personally for me. It's not exciting for me. Isla, I heard she's a very mobile character, but from what I read from Wikipedia, like from Dreamcast Wiki, they seem to say that Isla is. There you go. So what they say is Isla is a highly mobile character with excellent pokes to complement her tricky approach options. Her high run speed and a variety of ways to attack from different air angles make her offense difficult to predict, while her formidable pokes and an orthodox fireball can help her convince the opponent to stand still long enough for Isla to get her rushdown game started. See, when I kind of read that, and from what I've seen, little of seeing her, it does seems like Isla is really a rushdown character in disguise. She does have a lot of mobility, so probably that mobility does allow her to actually play a bit of a runaway game and whatnot. Or better, she's a good air mobile fighter, which that may be good. But I already have Athena as a decent air mobile fighter already, personally. Yeah, personally, I have Athena who does that pretty well for me. And, or better yet, I need a character with an easy offense. It doesn't seem that Isla offense is pretty easy to do and whatnot. So, I just don't think she's really for me. But I've also touched her like twice. Haven't watched high-level match videos of her, or I say limited high-level match videos of her. And I don't know how much of that is, how she should be played or not. K is kind of in the maybe for fucks sake, because K is kind of a character who can sort of run away. He has very easy confirmed, and in fact, there you go. That'd be the main reason why. He has very easy confirmed. So if I want to just autopilot, light, trigger, I've done 3 things, so I can figure out, okay, did I hit or did I block? Oh, did it block? Okay, let me do an overhead or keep the pressure safe. Oh, did it hit? Let me do the Ian trigger combo follow-up and go from there and whatnot. So, because he has that type of play style, I might be willing to try him. Hyder, I'm not really sure what Hyder does. I know it's not the same thing. It does seem like he's kind of a space control character, but some of his other stuff kind of, I don't know. Or better yet, the only time I really liked it, Hyder, is because he had a counter in 2002, maybe even 98, but I don't think he has a counter anymore. And in fact, we're going to get to counters in a bit when we start talking about my other counter characters. Otherwise, I don't know what Hydron does. I'm not really sure he's my thing. Hello and welcome back, whoever came back. Dolores, I also don't know what Dolores does. I know she's a grappler. She does seem to be somewhat of a slower grappler, so maybe I want to try her. Maybe, but not. But I'm also not crazy to try her either. I only want to say crazy. I'm not excited to play with Dolores. I saw her commands and it looked really interesting, but because I got a couple of other characters who I'd rather put more energy into, that's why I probably really won't go with Dolores. Whip, I'm gonna put Whip in the still confident session. I am the reason I'm going for still confident with Whip is all right, as I said, this game does require you to have aggro. I need to have some type of aggressive gameplay. Whip more or less does gives me that. I have no I don't have safe jumps or anything like that. Whip is one of those characters who allows me to bypass that thanks to her whip stance. So I could just go, oh, do I want to go overhead or do I want to go low or do I want to go for a plus frame move and whatnot. Not only that, when it comes to also trying to beat reversal, she has a good her jump count. Sorry, her command movement gives her invisibility against certain reversal options. So I can basically I could play a knockdown game with Whip. She's like the easiest kid I can play a knockdown game with thanks to her stance and her jump cancel thing. And then not only that, she has good normals. So I can really basically force opponent to play slow. So, because of that, fuck it. I'll put her main for life. I think I could do that. You know what? No. Confident. Still confident. And in fact, I'm going to do that with Ash too, now that I think about it. Because I am very afraid of Ash's high execution. Some people say you can sort of make him work, but overall, if you're not doing his touch of death, you're probably really missing out on playing with Ash. And I think there's potential there. Like, I'm willing to try to learn Ash. Is he going to be a character who I'm going to stay with? I'm not really sure. Angel, mix-up character fiend, straight up all about mix-ups, not for me. Cronin, he is kind of a set play character, also not for me. Matsuma, I'm going to put Matsuma in the still confident because I know some of his tool sets. The only thing that's been scaring me off is they've been saying Matsuma is without a doubt. They say he's an Oki heavy character who's all about messing up the opponent after he gets his knockdown. I'm not really good at trying to do that, but I might do it for Matsuma because I love the fact that Matsuma has armor moves. He does have decent reactive tools, but then once he's on the offense, that's where I seem to struggle with him as a character, and I need to figure that out personally. And personally, if not Ramon, I'm more confident in Matsuma than I am more confident of my Ramon. I like to play with Ramon, but I'm probably a little bit more confident with Matsuma if I need to have a command grab character. Oh, also, Matsuma does shit damage, so he makes my job easier. Any small touch I get, I do damage. Kula, definitely just not for me. Don't care for the character. Don't care for her tool says or anything. She's definitely they said she seemed more like an Oki set play character, and even if not, she was just always in the opponent's face and whatnot. Not for me personally. Elizabeth, I almost want to drop her to the still confident because she's a character who I kind of want to take out of my team. But she is still good at slowing down game pace. She's still good at that. Problem is, the reason I wanted Elizabeth, besides the fact that she did have decent, how about this? She has decent reversals in my opinion. She does have somewhat decent. Well, no, I wonder if that's. All right, how about this? She had counters. I wanted Elizabeth because she has counter, but counters are not that strong in King Fighters 15, in my opinion. They have their place, but you don't use Elizabeth for her counter. You use it for her pokes, which she does have really good pokes. And yeah, I do like her pokes. I was trying to run her anchor, but now I'm like, I'm not sure I want to keep her in my anchor position. I might do a separate tier list about who I want to put anchor, who I want to put mid, who I want to put points. But yeah. Outside of Rock having a counter, I really don't care for him whatsoever. Gato, he's a rest up character fiend, don't really care for her. I really don't know what B Janet does. I kind of just don't like her. But if I ever had to play with Team Garo, I would be willing to play with B Janet more than I'm willing to play with Rock or Gato personally. Billy Kane, not sure what he does. He does have zoning, which I do like, but and he even has a counter himself. But I'm not sure if I care about anything else that Billy Kane does. Geese, alright, Geese is a main for life. But I guess one of the reasons why I'm a little hesitant about keeping Geese in main for life, he has counters. He even has a counter super, but those aren't the things that makes him strong. I get the impression of. It's rather the fact that he just has safe brain dead offense. His miss up is unconventional and not even all that great, but he does still have it. I was being more successful with Geese when I was just basically poking my opponent out more than I was actually making good defensive reads, in my opinion. But he's also good at retreating. Like how about that? Geese is not shabby and creating space and backing away from his opponent. But it does seem like playing defensive is not exactly his forte. Not really sure on that. Ryuji Yamazaki, he seemed like he's definitely rushed down with his thing, and yeah, not really sure about him. Rugal, you know what? Yeah, I think I could put Rugal main for life. They say he is a defensive character, and I do see that because even when I see the high level Rugal players, yeah, they're definitely not going ham, going in on front. They're trying to zone them out, space them out, and everything. And I do like that. I do like that Rugal has an easy plus on frame move if he conditions them to not push. Like, yeah, he does have a command grab, which is disappointing. Let me not say disappointing. Rather, he doesn't really have a way to open up opponents, but he does get the highest reward for anti-airing thanks to his genocide cutter. He does have 2 different projectiles as well as a reflector and whatnot. So those are really great and whatnot. He even has his own overheads to kind of make it work. Overall, he kind of has what I need. Even good button. I'm still figuring out how to use him well. But overall, I do feel like I can stick with Rugal. I thought I wasn't going to stick with him because how slow he is. Wait, no, it's how slow. Yeah, how about this? When I realize I don't want to play fast, I feel confident in Omega Rugal. But if I need to go on the offense, I am no longer confident of Omega Rugal. And yeah, that's definitely going to wrap up this. Yeah, these are my current feelings. I can play with Mitsuku, I can play with Athena, I can play with Elizabeth, I can play with Geese and Rugal. And then the characters under them, not the most sure. Sorry, how about this? I'm willing to try them out. And if none of these characters really make panning out for me, then I will go towards them. Like if I can't use Whip, then I'll definitely go towards Shermie as my character to try to play aggressively with, or Kyo, because Kyo does have a command grab and whatnot. But yeah, but one of the reasons why Rio isn't here, I feel Geese does play defensively better than Rio does, because his counter gives him more reward, if anything, and whatnot. And yeah, his counter gets more reward, and yeah, God forbid, if I need to create space, Rio's not good at creating space. So yeah, Andy, I feel Mitsuku does what I want, what Andy does, but better. Kyo Kusanagi, like I said, he's a footsie character, but I do feel in my current tier list, I think Elizabeth is a superior footsie character, one who's definitely more on keeping her distance. Because once Kyo gets a hit, he definitely wants to explode on a hit with his Rekka. Like, he gets more damage than Elizabeth on hits. But, well, then again, he does have better mix-ups and whatnot. And K is something considered a runaway character, but Athena just does that way better and has more options to take care of stuff, in my opinion. So, yeah. I wonder if that even makes sense. You know what? People could go in the chat and tell me if I'm talking out my ass or if I'm on point. Otherwise, that's going to settle this. I guess I'll save this.